Well, hey there again, fifth grade enrichment math peeps. It's about 10 o'clock on Monday night, and I wanted to talk to you guys about your graphing project that you're going to be getting today. It is due Friday, and it's the only thing that you are working on for this week. So my hopes is that you'll have no problems accomplishing it, but I wanted to show you some things with respect to the project to make sure that I was being very clear with you. Okay, so every student is going to get a packet that looks like this, and the packet, this thing on the front is the rubric, and it explains to you exactly how you can earn a 100. If you don't want to earn 100, then you can follow a different column. I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to earn 100, but it explains to you everything that you need to do, okay? Then, when you open up the packet, you will notice a blank graph that already has some lines on it for you that's labeled AI. And then you have another blank graph that's labeled Honest Prez. And then you have a set of coordinates, again, AI. So these coordinates are for the AI graph. And then on the back, these coordinates are for the Honest Prez graph. And you'll notice, and I know it's hard to see, I'm going to switch the position here. So you can see with the rubric, okay, that it's going to be important that your project is done on the graph, on the provided graph paper, which I've given you, that your project contains 2 or more colors, so I am going to expect you to color these pictures that you're creating, that you only use colored pencils, so no markers, and that your entire name is only on the back of the project along with your class name and the date of submission. Okay, and you'll notice up at the top, the date you should be submitting this is this Friday. Okay, and then you have accuracy. All the points are graphed correctly with no errors. Lines are drawn, are neat and straight, so I suggest using a ruler to help make your lines. The paper is clean and free of wrinkles, so neatness counts, all right? So don't just shove this in your backpack and then hope to turn it in and get 100. Okay, your coloring is neat and within the lines, and the coloring is suitable to the picture graph. So if you construct a picture and then you decide to color the entire thing black and we can't tell what the picture was, then that defeats the purpose, okay? And then you're also going to get points for not only submitting, that should say 428, not 10-7. So not only submitting it on time, but also submitting it with this rubric attached. So if you don't submit this rubric, then you're going to lose 4 points. Okay? So just be mindful. This tells you exactly what you need to do to get 100. Okay? Now, here's what I want to explain to you. So if this were my packet, okay, I'm going to take that paper clip off that my wonderful teacher so generously gave me. And then I have these 2 graphs. I have the AI graph and I have the Honest Prez graph. All right, so I'd separate those out. And then I see this whole big stack of coordinates. And so I would make a decision. I've got to do both of them. Which one do I want to start with? Do I want to do the AI graph, or do I want to flip it over and do the Honest Prez? The Honest Prez looks to be a little bit easier. All right, so I'm going to do a sample for you, okay? And I'm going to give you, I'm going to show you how I would do this. So if this were my packet, okay, if I were to start with the Honest Prez, okay, let me move my computer back. All right, I see that my very first point is 2333. And so here's my, everything's labeled. It's all in the first quadrant. So I'm going to go to 23, which is right here, and then all the way up So 23, and I keep looking, gotta go back up, 23, 30, keep getting lost because I'm looking at the camera and looking at the phone at the same time. 23, 33, and I'm gonna put a dot. Okay, and then as soon as I do that, I'm gonna mark it off so that I know that I'm done with it, all right? And then I go to the next point, 24, 34. So 24, 34. And every time I make a new, I'm gonna go ahead and connect that. So you can use a ruler or whatever, okay? And I mark it off. And then I keep going, it's 25, so 25 down here, and keep going up, 25, 34. And see, as I keep going, and so I'm gonna graph all of these points and connect them together until I get to this one. When I get to here, I'm gonna stop and I'm not gonna connect this point to the next point, which is up here at 1420. So when I go to 1420, it's gonna be as if I'm starting over again because I don't necessarily want to connect this to this, okay? So again, I would graph all of these points, and every time I graph, so when I graph 25, 35, I'm gonna plot it and I'm gonna connect it to 25, 34. So now I keep graphing and connecting, graphing and connecting, graphing and connecting until I get to here. When I get to here, I stop. And then I start over again at this point, and everything in here gets connected. And then I start here, and everything here gets connected, and so on and so on and so forth. And if you do it correctly, all right, note, in each section, do not connect the last point back to the first point. So important note here. So when I get to the bottom of here, don't try to connect it back to the beginning up here, okay? It just so happens to be the same point, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way, all right? So once you've finished all this, then you're done with that, okay? Then you turn it over, and this one's got a lot more sections, and so you're going to use this graph, okay? And so this one's a full 4-quadrant graph, whereas this one over here was a 1-quadrant graph, the first quadrant. And so when I look here, okay, my first point is 1, -20. So here's my origin. I go 1 and all the way down. So 0, so I go to 1 and then all the way down to -20. And every time I do a point, I mark it off. Then I have 1, -19. So it's just going to be 1 above. And I connect the dots. And I mark it off. Okay? Real simple, real easy. The question is, what will you be creating? And I will give you a hint. Okay? All right, real quick. You're going to be creating something that looks like that. And the other graph will look something like that. All right, real quick, real easy. You can totally do this. You have all day today. You have tonight. You have all day tomorrow. You have Wednesday night. You have all day Thursday in class and Thursday night. And my expectation is that you come with it done Friday, ready to graph. What if you make a mistake? Miss Kraus, what if I make a mistake on this graph here and I run out of space? Problem. Mrs. Kraus has made extras for you. What if I make a third mistake? No problem. Miss Kraus has uploaded the entire packet to RenWeb. What if I lose it? No problem. It's in RenWeb. Miss Kraus is taking care of everything. What if I forget everything that you said, Mrs. Kraus? No problem. I have uploaded it to my YouTube channel, and it is being shared with your parents. So anyway, do an awesome job. Be great for Mrs. Spangler. I love you. I'm proud of you. I know you can do this. I'll see you on Friday. Okay? Bye.